Hello, it's Luke here. I was wanting to do a little video on my 3000 point dwarf army that I've been putting together for the past several years. I've been mostly using it in 5th edition, so it's set out for that, but it's got a lot of stuff, and I wanted to show it all. So I couldn't fit it all in my picture to start with, but this is everything I've got painted and some bits that I don't have painted, and I thought I'll just go through it piece at a time. We can start with a bolt thrower. So this one here is an old Citadel one that I got from eBay. I think when they released these, they also sold them with Orc and Goblins crew, so it probably explains why it's so spiky at the front. But yeah, that was a nice one. I've got this one, which this one here means quite a lot to me, because it was actually my friend's when we were at primary school and we first got into Warhammer. He was into dwarfs and I was into Skaven, and then when he started leaving the hobby, I think he sold this one to me. So I managed to keep hold of it and I've repainted it. I know it's missing an arrow from the shoot, I guess. And when I got it, this man here, he didn't come with it. I had a different one instead, so I've bought that on eBay and put it with it to make it match. I did this base using green stuff, and I was going to do the whole army in a base like that, but honestly it just took way too long to do, so I knocked that on the head. Then I've got two of these. Now these, excuse me, these were eBay purchases. I'll start with this one, which were just dwarf and bolt throwers, and they came with some men, which I didn't know anything about them and I couldn't find anything about them, but since then I have found them on the internet, and they're reasonably cheap. So I probably paid more for them on eBay than I would have done if I'd have bought them from the manufacturer. This here is an old Marauder crewman, and these two are, this one and this, with the wrong way of my finger, and this one here are Harlequin miniatures. So the Harlequin miniatures are available through Black Tree Designs, but they didn't have any crossbows or bolt throwers, so I had to get them from eBay. So again, I probably paid more than if I'd have bought them from the normal place. And this one, again, the same old Marauder or Citadel miniatures. Then I have, that's all my bolt throwers. I'll move on to the cannon. So this is a cannon I got. I actually got this one from Forlorn Hope. So they do a range of dwarf pirates there, which were these men here, which were actually pretty good. But the cannon that they came with was like a tiny little one that was like used for a pirate galley or something. And then this was a vintage cannon from a different set, which I've put with them. And to be honest, I've used that quite a lot whenever I've played with my dwarfs. I've included them as a set, and they've been good. Next one, I'm getting through all my war machines here. Next one here, this is everyone's old favourite organ gun, which was probably the last thing I've painted for these dwarves. The crew members for this actually came with the bolt throwers, so I knew I'd got some. When I got them, I knew that they had their own crew, so I bought alternative crew for the bolt throwers and used the crew on here. And I bought the organ cannon from eBay again. I know it should have some like wheel glaives on, but I never fitted them. I had to do a bit of a repair on this screw at the back, because it was missing it. But I just used an ordinary bolt and then bolted it and tapped it and glued it together. I think it looks reasonable, although it does look like a household screw, doesn't it? Anyway. Ooh. Yeah. next, I might as well do all my war machines. So I'll start on this side here. So this here is a Black Tree design, or a Harlequin fire gun, flamethrower. So this was, I bought this from the Black Trees Design website, and it's the old Harlequin sculpt. I'm pretty happy with that. Came out. The base is probably a bit big for it, but I 3D printed it myself. You can see I 3D printed it myself, but I wanted it to be like big enough to put some scenery on and get the men standing around it properly. And then I obviously did this singed bit at the front, so it looked like it'd been working hard. Next one, these are my newest purchases, which are they were macrocosm miniature ones, but they're no longer macrocosm anymore. I think they're Hayland terrain. These dwarfs are okay, but they took a bit of putting together. There were lots of different parts for it. So the arm was separate. You can see the joint on it, can't you? And the pole was separate and the head was separate. So it took some putting together, but yeah, it's together. And then the next thing to paint, I've got that one, and I've got another one the same. I'll put that down there. With this set, you only get the 2 crew members, so I got some great swords to go with it. I don't know, like a commander, but they were from the same range. What next? Let me move on to, I'll do some of my luggage train. So just a standalone wagon, a pony carrying some casks, and a dwarf, and another pony. So this is my baggage train. These are all Forlorn Hope ones, straight from their website. But yeah, I think it's handy to have some baggage train stuff if you're gonna be using in scenarios like that. I also got this dwarf here also came with the bolt thrower crew, and he's an old dwarf trader. And I'd kept him with a bolt thrower crew until I got enough characters to swap him out, and I put him with my baggage train now. I'll move on to some of my units. This might be a bit boring because they're all from the same place. So this unit here at the back was the first one that I did, and my partner ordered this for me when we were on holiday on the way to Iceland, and that's when I first decided I was going to start doing my dwarf army. So that was probably 2023. These are miners, as you can see, and they are the Black Tree Design Harlequin sculpts. So they're the first ones I did, so they're probably not as good as some of my other ones, but I'm pretty happy with how they turned out, and they obviously made a complete. Oh, sorry, I don't think I'm focusing there. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with them, and I tried to take them, but they're not always suitable because they're just in 5th edition, they're just normal dwarfs with double-handed weapons, which you can do anyway. I like this sculpt as well because I don't know why I like that one. I just liked him. There was also a nice one with this one at the back. Took his hat off, wiped his brow. So after that, we've got a unit of hammerers. So these ones here are quite good. I like these ones. Oh. Again, all these trays are 3D printed myself, so they fit the units well. But yeah, these are hammerers. You can see there's not fantastic mold lines on them, and I didn't do enough to really deal with them to start with. But they are what they are now, and I sometimes use this guy as my hero or my general if I'm not taking these guys. the banners. Look at the banners. So the banners are ones I've designed myself on GIMP, which is like a free software. Oh, actually, that was pretty crappy. But I just used plastic and melted it over to make a soft surface, and then I've printed that out onto transfer paper and then transferred it across. I didn't do that with all of them because it became quite a lot of effort, and the transfer paper wasn't always successful, but it was good. Next, let's move into the centre. I don't know if I've messed my camera angle there. So this here, longbeards. So these are Black Tree Design longbeards or Harlequin longbeards. I really like these models. I think they're great. I think they like give real imperial dwarf theme. I love how the making a mess there. I love how the beard comes down and it's all over. They really are long beards. They're long beards in every way, and they really scratch that itch for me, which is good. But I don't take them very often. Behind them, I've got some crossbows. So I've got. I found with these, I took them in one unit to start with, but I think they were more effective when you just had a line of them. So I split it into two separate units, which are here and here. Again, you can see there's the champion, standard bearer, musician. These are all Black Tree Design again, or Harlequin. This one, I didn't quite have enough, so this guy here, you might have noticed, he's the only Marauder one. So I paid more for him than I paid for the others, and his outfit's not quite the same as the other dwarfs, but I think he fits in okay if you don't know to look for him. And then I've got the Thunderers behind that, which are again Harlequin Black Tree Designs. Yeah, they're okay. I generally don't use them very much. They're a bit expensive for what you get. I like this one here. It's just got a single tooth, which is cool. And then the eagle-eyed amongst you might have spotted another Marauder one, which is this one on the end, which again I'd had them in a unit of 15, so they were 15 5x3, and then when I put them in this row so they could all stand and shoot properly, I was one miniature short, and then I didn't want to have to buy a full set from Black Tree Design. And the last things I ordered from Black Tree Design took ages to come, still haven't come yet, so I'm a bit put off ordering anything new from there for a while, I think, although most of my army is them. Let's go over here. So Black Tree Design, or Harlequin again. These are just clansmen. The shields, they're all 3D printed ones. Ooh, they're a bit I put some blue tack on them so they didn't fall out the tray while I was transporting them. Yeah, I like this guy. I think the champion's cool. Some of the Black Tree Design sculpts are great, but some are a little bit hit and miss. So I like this one. I think he's great. I love his padded armour. I think he's brilliant. But this one here, I don't know if you can see, but he doesn't have a moustache, and I find that quite off-putting. What's a dwarf without a moustache? Although he's got a beard, could do with a moustache for me. But yeah, but mostly I think I like him. But say just one or two sculpts are just a little bit short on the mark for me. Behind them I have this unit of spears. I think it was last year Games Workshop announced that they were going to be redoing the spearmen, the original ones, and I had a look at them on the internet, and I thought that they were a little bit overpriced, so I was going to get an alternative. These ones are Forlorn Hope, which actually, they're okay. They're okay. Again, hit and miss with some of the sculpts. What I don't like about them are a lot of them you can't see their eyes, and they just don't have the eyes on them at all. Whereas others, yeah, I don't know. This guy here on the end, he's just all beard. He don't have anything. He don't have a face. He's just all beard. But at the same time, this was and still is available on eBay, and it's quite cheap for a unit, and it's all metal. So all my miniatures are metal. We don't have any plastics here. That's just me, just being a bit of a snob, I think. But I like the metal miniatures best. Behind that, after I finished that unit of Spearmen, I decided that actually I did want the Games Workshop recasts. So this one, got this guy, and this guy are all the original recasts. So yeah, I got one packet of recasts and one command unit, which I was happy with. And then to bulk them out at the back, these guys, these are all Forlorn Hope, and they were the Renaissance range from Forlorn Hope. And if you can see, if I hold it like that, you can see there is quite a size difference between them, which it'd be nice if they were all the same size. But on the other hand, the spears all match the Games Workshop spears, so, you know, 6 of one thing, half a dozen of another. It matches in some ways, but not other ways. I'd really liked a full unit of them or other ones, but I just didn't want to pay for them because I'm a bit tight, I think, and I've got a lot of hobby stuff that I like to buy. So that's my second unit of spears, or I guess that would be my first unit of spears because there's one on that, and then this one's got the two crossed. I think I'm just about done with my units. Oh no, I've not. I've got my Slayers. So these Slayers. I said earlier about my friend who had dwarfs when we were kids. He had this guy here, and I was always so jealous of his Demon Slayer. And he always used to say how good it was, and he used to always bring it when we had battles, even though we never played right. But he always had this one, and I was always so jealous of it. So when I got the opportunity to buy when Games Workshop released them again, I ordered one because I couldn't help myself. In this unit, obviously that's Games Workshop. This guy, this one are Macrocosm ones from their second Slaying edition, which yeah, I really like them as well. They fit in quite well. And then on the back row you can see this guy. He was one that I had when I was younger. That one, and this one. These guys were all the ones that I had when I was a kid, and I repainted them to fit in with this unit. I can remember buying them as a blister, so when I was at primary. Oh, I hate when I do that. All fingers and thumbs. But I always like this one. Yeah, it was great. One more back. No, sorry, it's a bit boring when I do this bit. And then I've got a unit of these ones here. Ooh, I dropped them. Okay, sorry, fingers and thumbs aren't it? So this one here is a unit of Seb miniatures, and they are, I think it's Herkland's Forest Rangers or something like that. And you can see they've all got an animal skin on. To be honest, I've just used them as clansmen. You can see I just dropped it there. I made a mistake. I'll fix that later. I'll put that back on. But you see, they've all got wolf skins or boar skins or something. And Herkland himself there with his lion skin top, which is which is good. And I did a banner of it, like a flying pig for that, which I thought would fit the feel of the unit, but I only ever use them as clansmen. I guess if I played like a later edition, I could actually use them as rangers, because I think there are like special rules for rangers later on. But yeah, at the moment just clansmen. Next, Anvil of Doom. Let's do my Anvil of Doom. So when I started playing, I suffered a bit because dwarfs have got no magic, and I needed something to do something about the magic. So I had to put my hand in my pocket and get an original Anvil of Doom, which I stripped and I've painted. This guy here, he is my runesmith, but obviously he's not an original one. So he is a Reaper Miniatures runesmith. And I thought, I think he was actually a rune spelunker, but I liked him and I thought he'd fit well with it. But instead of putting him on top of it, I mounted him on the side, so he's like directing it to go forwards. And then these here are Harlequin Blacktree Design hammerers, which I'm using as his guard, which I thought would, although they're not obviously not the original ones, but I didn't think they looked too bad. And again, I did the banners for him myself, in the right colour scheme for this army. Am I on to my heroes now? Okay, I'll go to my heroes. So an original Marauder, and I use him as my king if I'm not using the Anvil of Doom. If I'm not using the Throne of Power. I did the shield myself. That took me ages, but looking at it now, I could have probably done it better. But it was good. It was good, and it was a 3D printed shield. And I wanted him to have a different shaped shield to all the others. So all the others have got the round shields with the that Celtic knot on, and this one's got the kettle shield. Then this one here, he came with a macrocosm miniatures, and the second slaying set that I got. It didn't really fit with the slayers. It's got bionic arm and a shotgun. I think it'd actually make quite a good hot air balloon pilot, because I don't have a auto gyro or anything. I thought a hot air balloon might go in the set quite well, but I haven't done anything with it. I've never played him, but I did paint him, and he's sitting in amongst the heroes. This guy here, I got him from Lead and Steel. I think he's still available. I can't remember the manufacturer at the moment, but he was just a basic dwarf. But because he don't fit with all the others, he became a hero in his own right. But I've never actually used him. Yeah, so this is my Throne of Power. So this is the Good King Aemond Goodrun. And I did this whole hold, this dwarf hold, I just made it up, and I call it Bhraigh Torr, and he's obviously the king for it. This was a Black Trees Designs one, where with the Harlequin, and I wanted something a bit different, because everyone has the original Throne of Power, and I do like the original Throne of Power, but I just wanted something a little bit, different. The only thing is, you don't really have many mounting points for banners on this, whereas the original Throne of Power, you had some poles on the back to put them on. So he gets no banner. But what I did do was I did him a army standard bearer. So this one's just printed in paper. What he was he was a halfling standard bearer, and then I gave him a green stuffed beard. And I treat him, I like to think of him like King Aemond's youngest brother, that he didn't want to go to war, but his mum made him take him, and they just gave him the banner. So he's got no armour on, he doesn't have any weapons, he just runs along after King Aemond and carries a banner for him. I think that's it. So that's all my miniatures at the moment. Most of it's painted. I've just got them organ guns to do, and yeah, hopefully I'm going to get them out on the tabletop a bit more. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.